In our industry, we managed to figure out our worth is really in the kind of people we are, which is just trying to create the best customer service you can get. You don't get fooled by the numbers in front of you that you think, all right, you know what, that's got to be the right insurance. It's good, look, it's cheap. It's, you got to know the value of who's in front of you.
And good insurance could save your ass. Without the right insurance, you could really wind up in a pretty shitty position. Because as soon as you start making a decent amount of money where people can notice, people are evil, man. They'll come after you.
So welcome. Thank you guys for joining me. Paul and Anthony Galley, PAG owners. I love your guys' story. I mean, obviously we've become friends over the last few years, but you guys, Port Jefferson, local company, young guys, hustling, grinding, and pretty much have done it all without social media. So just real quick, Paul and Anthony, just give me a quick fun fact about yourselves.
We grind. We like to grind. We work hard, we surround ourselves with gentlemen like yourself and try to keep it pushing, man. Just business mentality of just trying to grow and constantly learn, and that kind of got us where we are now.
What about you, Ant?
I mean, pretty much the same thing. Enjoy working, work hard, and want to find the things in life. So keep pushing, push as hard as we can.
All right. Well, I thought a fun fact about you guys. I don't know how comfortable you are with me sharing this, but I still can't believe it to this day. You guys share a bank account at this point.
Very wild.
It's a little wild.
That's insanity. Like you have a family, right?
Yeah.
Wife and a couple kids.
Yeah.
Same.
A wife and 4 kids.
And you guys we're not talking about the business account, like your personal account. You guys just
one account.
Yeah.
So the idea is, don't look at this small picture. Push for the end goal.
That's
Maybe
awesome,
to the
man.
point where we could all sit financially.
It's simple math, Dan. I got 2 kids. He's got 4 kids. Take one off. I got 3 kids.
That's it. I don't need him more, and then I reap benefits.
It is. Okay. It's based off trust. I mean, obviously, being brothers makes it easy,
A lot easier.
but yeah. I mean, you know what? Like you said, the end goal is really a lot within a couple mortgages, and it's really just trying to grow this thing to where hopefully the PAG and Sons could
All right. Little legacy.
I think that's the idea. We started it from the ground up, so
Okay.
they could carry it.
So I gotta ask though, who's the bigger spender then?
Hey, by all means, look at the shoes. I mean, you probably can't get them on the camera, but you'll see.
All right. That's Anthony. I would have guessed that too, but not when it comes to insurance though.
No,
Anthony was
they should give it to us for free.
the grinder.
The shark.
Yes, my God, he was the negotiator. Tough to get around. We'll hit that up later. But tell me a little bit about your guys' origin. So, I mean, you guys are in your mid-30s, young?
I'm 40. He's 38.
Okay, you hit 40 now.
I just hit 40.
Nice, bro. How do you hurt that? I didn't even realize that.
Very, very scary.
So you guys though are hustling, but when did PAG Sons start?
10 years ago. 8 and 9 years ago.
Yeah, I think 2017.
Okay, so only like 8 years.
Yeah.
Electricians, like, is that family? Like, what? How did you get into the
It
business?
started with pretty much like an uncle of ours that was, really always kind of grinding. We were working with him in summers and stuff like that when we were like 14. So, we tried everything. Dude.
Yeah, we built houses. We tried it, man. A huge plumbing company in the city.
Electrical seemed to stick, we kind of stuck with it. We bounced around, we dabbled in other things, try to, see where our niche really fell, and it seemed like electrical really was the one that kind of off.
Electric really just took the biggest profit margin, so that's kind of where we stuck.
Okay.
Building houses, kind of get beat up on the finishes. Electric, your lights turn on, you get paid, so kind of kept pushing that.
That's true.
And it worked.
You guys tried a bunch of different things, fell into this 8 years ago or whatnot, but your father, I mean, you come from a blue collar family, but he was a business owner as well, right?
100%. Yeah. He started, he had a contracted company, building buildings in the city, really. I mean, Anthony actually kind of worked with him more. I never actually worked with him personally.
Okay.
But yeah, it was always in our blood. I mean,
yeah, we built high rises in Manhattan he's still doing it. Actually, he's finishing a 300 unit right now in Tribeca.
Wow.
But yeah, it was just, again, when you start, he was an owner's rep. So you get a salary. He gets a percentage of the build. it was never really a company per se. It was more like you represent the owner, you run through the jobs, you pick the subs, this, that, the other thing. For us, you get capped. They only want to pay so much. So at that point, we figured, you got to go on your own. You got to be your own owner. If you're not an owner, you're not going to get what you want out of it.
Cool.
You can get a couple $100,000 a year, but what does that really do?
So that's where you kind of got your entrepreneurial spirit. You saw
Yeah.
what it was, but it was limited.
I was watching senior PMs and seniors owner reps taking home at max $500,000 a year. And honestly, that wasn't good enough for us. So at that point, we decided to, at one point, we started a landscaping company. That didn't work. We built a $3 million home in Sands Point. This was pre-PAG. Got beat up on every angle. It just didn't really work. We did the electric in the basement. We made more money on the electric in the basement than we did on the whole build. So that's really where we started saying, fuck it, let's go that route. And, we started pushing one electrical side job at a time. He was working for our uncle, per se, making about $1,000 a week. We split that in half. I sat home and knocked on doors.
I love it.
That's where it started.
And that's pretty much how we did it.
So
I was 20 grand behind on my taxes. I was fucking... Luckily, my dad owned the house, and I was able to fucking play it. But yeah, we were behind. My wife's car got repoed. I mean,
wow,
we were in a spot.
So that's actually, in a previous podcast, we were talking with another business owner, and he was talking about he actually wrote a book about the challenges of owning a business and how people might hear what you're saying of where you're at now. And they just see all the good, right?
Yeah.
But obviously, there's been a lot of
voyage.
Yeah, the voyage to get there. Most people can't go through that to get to where you guys are at now.
It takes a certain amount of stress level and tolerance,
and it's also capacity. You got to be able to handle. If you can't handle, you're not going to be able to. It ain't fit for you. If you could handle being blown up all day long, constant stress, I mean, that's really what it takes. Anybody can do anything.
Okay. Well, I can't screw a light bulb, so.
Well, if you really we knew it good.
You guys have bailed me out a couple of times for some pretty basic shit.
That's so funny. Listen, we all have our strong suit, right? Just again, that's the whole idea of good network, right? So you do what you do best, we do what we do best, and
And as soon as we both started listening to each other, we were both in good shape, right? I stopped trying to screw in light bulbs, and Anthony stopped trying to get insurance policies online, and we were good. But
it's so funny.
So our journey is actually kind of cool. Like, I didn't insure Anthony at first. Like, I've insured your parents for many years, many years, and now I insured you, and I think in the very beginning we were just having some dialogue, and all I had was like your personal stuff. I didn't really even know that much about the business, and I think it was like, dude, I don't know, like a year and a half, 2 years of me hounding you and just being like,
you were persistent, man.
Yeah.
I gave it to you. Sales.
But what was cool about that though? What was actually cool was you were a bit of a hot mess in the beginning. Like your shit was everywhere. Like, wasn't insured properly. Like, a lot of coverage gaps, stuff like that. But I think like that's another reality to the journey, because like, in the beginning you want to do things right, but sometimes there's a reality to like trying to keep the lights on.
Like, yeah, they also make it profitable. There's that compromise, right? So it's of course everything you want to do has got to be, you got to be insured for the right things and all these things, but you also have to make sure that you're able to be able to be profitable in the business, right? You have to sell the jobs. If you're too high because your overhead's too much, just on the simple base of, insurance standpoint, it's like, you might not get the job. So that part is a part that we struggled. And that's where I had the shark come in and negotiate. And we said, listen, let's get Dan here. He's going to consolidate. We're going to figure out how to, get everything cleaned up a little bit more manageable.
Yeah.
And at the same time, let's smack him over the head and try to get the best prepared.
I let you feel like I had some sort of autonomy in those rates, but but it actually has made life a lot easier though, right? I mean, there were times where you guys were double paying for policies. You had no idea what was where, right?
Without saying that, no doubt. Where that's like the old penny wise, dollar dumb. You know, we're sitting there trying to save a buck, but in the interim, you're really not realizing we had double coverage, lack of coverage. It was
Lasting coverage.
it was definitely a journey. That's the growing pains, right? That's like anybody will tell you that's been doing this. It's like you said, you're not watching the journey. You're just, most people just see, he's got a nice car. Oh, look at him, he's making this or that, but it just the amount that, and as an owner, it never stops, right?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Listen in this podcast, the amount of phone calls that we're missing right now.
I know,
and it's like,
and I appreciate it.
No. But listen, this is precious to us as well. I mean, this is half the part of where you're working and everything else. Surrounding yourself with people.
Yeah. So let's dial back though for a second. I want to talk a little bit because you guys are really successful right now, but you've done it with virtually knock on wood, but virtually no social media, which is unheard of nowadays, right? I mean, I'm on here. You made a comment to me. You're like, I can't believe I'm doing a fucking podcast. I don't even have Instagram. And that's just like, it's awesome, right? You probably save a ton of time by not scrolling and everything.
Never had it. I just never got into it. I tried the Snapchat thing at one point, but I realized I don't scroll it. So like, I'm always like kind of in the moment kind of guy. He's a little bit better on that side of
I post our builds and, the kitchens, the whole house as we do.
But you guys don't advertise on social media, nothing, right?
As of lately, we got a website, but that's just within the last month.
So how the hell are you guys growing at the rate that you guys are?
Word of mouth. We do the right thing at the right number. That's it. That's all you got to do.
It's like any business. You now it's manning it. In our industry, we managed to figure out, our worth is really in the kind of people we are, which is just trying to create the best customer service you can get. And that doesn't go with any hiccups along the way. Obviously, you're going to, we answer the phone. The
biggest thing in business is
you answer the phone's key.
That's true.
You can get further.
Punctuality.
Good, bad, is different. Doesn't matter.
All the little things that most people just struggle with on that side. And I've seen businesses fold from the simple fact that you're just not answering.
Or I watch businesses stay at $500,000 a year because the owner just doesn't want to deal with it. They go away. They make enough money to survive. And that's where they will do it. Which is perfectly level. But again, it's what you want out of it.
Yeah.
Like I said, this thing can go to the moon. It's how to man it. You got to be able to put management in place. And
we have a good grasp on this at a young age. What we used to do, this is pre-text messages and phones and everything. We were
beepers.
It was probably around beeper age. We were like 13, 14. And our father, old school Italian, had to work hard. We always had a list of chores. So our Saturday morning consisted of calling up our friends. We'd get all together. We would always congregate kind of at our house because I knew before we had to head out, we had a certain amount of things. We had obligations. We had neighborhood kids doing all. So by the time the kids came over, we'd be like, oh, Danny, this one, come to my house. We'll meet here and we'll head out. When they came over, it was like, well, my dad's got a little bit of yard work, but this one got the bags, this one got the shovel, this one got the rake, and all together, I'm like, dude, it's 2 hours just for me, but there's 4 of us here. That's a half hour. Like, we're out of here.
That's beautiful.
So that's, that was like the beginning brand of entrepreneurship, like.
I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of like that was the mentality then, and then I guess naturally you fall into the things that you fall into.
Wow. Now you guys have, gotten involved in other things. I know you guys are. I mean, your passion is there. You guys are so hungry, but you guys have, you never get big, fat, and happy. Like it's funny. I always talk to you guys. You're always buying another house, building another house. So you're not just sticking to your electrical work. You guys are constantly reinvesting into the business and diversifying. Like, tell me a little bit about, what that journey's been as well.
You can't really make money in one spot. You make money in one spot, you become stagnant. Then have multiple incomes. Real estate's for sure. It's a lock. You can't really lose. I mean, if you lose, it's minimal. Stocks, they're supposed to give us good returns. We'll see the end of the year, but no, you gotta keep trying different things. I mean, we do a little construction still. I mean, we'll do anything to make a buck as long as it's turning money. We're there.
Yeah, revenue stream.
Push some.
Yeah, revenue stream's huge. You can't just be locked into one thing. You gotta at least try. At least you risk a little. Some not everything pans out, not everything works out, but at least you're giving it a shot. Especially, I feel like we're relatively young, so it's like take some shots now and see what sticks, what holds.
So the electric makes money. Why not give it another shot somewhere else? We know where we stand there.
Yeah.
Pushing that, keep building that. But again,
and it's hard to stay.
It's manning it.
I can't be content. You know, it's as easy as sometimes it's like, you know what, let's just kind of breathe for a minute. Now,
Yeah.
I'll have him chirping in my ear.
You get content.
Anthony's Instagram idea of the day.
That's it. Literal. Gotta have goals.
But he's always coming up with something different. He like I joke about it, but you're always like, you know,
gotta have
figuring stuff out.
goal. You gotta have no view of what your future could look like, or will. I mean,
Yeah, if we set things in front of you and you're like, you know what I want to, you gotta push towards. Even if you don't get it, at least you're getting closer. You got some kind of end game or some kind of reason to be doing this. You know, because purpose is huge, right? Like,
Yep.
You know, I don't know.
we never thought we would be where we're at now. Who knows where we could be in 5 years? Who knows where we could be in 10 years?
Yeah.
Could be in a whole different ballgame.
So
I could be selling you insurance.
that'd be scary.
That would be scary.
But no, I mean, listen, I think there's a lot to it, but there's also a lot about like work-life balance, right? You know, you guys have a family. I know you guys work real hard. Yeah.
That's a struggle.
Okay.
That's a struggle. I mean,
It has gotten better,
yeah.
but still nowhere near where it should be. We're not home.
I feel like our wives kind of they understand too. They realize like the grind. You know, again, end game, right? Like it's, you know, I don't want to do this until I'm 65, and then I'm sitting back and where'd my life go? What did it do? Like how did we end up here? You know, but I could see how you naturally pull into that. Like it's like what's enough, right? So you just keep trying to recreate yourself, and you know, but at a certain point, I think we'll dial down and maybe lock into just couple different ventures, but for now we're gonna kind of throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Well, I think you guys are setting yourselves up though with some of the real estate investments and stuff like that. You guys are, you know, creating multiple streams of income, as you said, Anthony, and I think that's
smart. Is the biggest thing now, right? So
Yeah.
you gotta have residual income. So it's passive. Doesn't.
Yes.
No need to do anything but just watch it come in. That's what we're focusing on now, and we'll see how it goes. By no means will be there yet,
Yeah.
but we will be at some point.
And Paul obviously took out a life insurance policy not too long ago.
That's right.
You did a whole life with, you know, or did you do a whole life or a guaranteed universal life where after 25 years you can get
That's
all,
right. Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's the one we went for.
I think we battled on that a little bit as to what you know what you guys wanted, but I think your idea was you wanted enough for the God forbid if something happened today, right? But you were looking at it and saying, listen, I'm going to be able to self-insure in 15 years. So, you know, like I just want to get my premiums back at that time. And that's why we went with that policy.
Yeah.
Anthony was a big driver on that one.
Yes,
But-
that was another negotiating tactic we had over there. He was good though. It made a lot of sense, you know. We looked at the numbers and how it would work, and you know, we felt like that was the best fit at the time.
All right. So I'm going to pull this up. We're going to do a little rapid fire session here. Okay. It's like a lightning round here. So we're going to go, I'm just going to ask you a few quick questions. I just want you to both fire like whatever the quickest answer that comes to your mind. Okay. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
All right. So let's go first. Favorite tool in the van right now?
My guys.
My calculator.
Calculator. Okay. Dream project or ideal job?
Own home and beach house. Build my own beach house.
Real estate. I mean, I think that's a big part of what we want to do in the future.
All right. Ready for this one? You're going to have to each do this one individually. Funniest thing that's ever happened on a job site?
I don't know. These days, man, there's not too many funny days. Our days are filled with a lot of stress and
one of my guys drilled through a basement staircase and told me he thought he was drilled through a staircase on the first floor and thought he was drilling into the basement. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was like not having your bearings straight.
Wow.
He's no longer with us.
But that was a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Wires or breakers? Which one gives you more headaches?
I would say breakers, honestly. These new breakers that we have nowadays are like super finicky. So, yeah, but I mean, it's all relative.
You? I don't even know the difference, but you know, there you go.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah, I would say the same.
why I don't really go bad, man. Why
Alright.
being you all for years and years to come.
Favorite pizza spot in Port Jeff?
Coliseum.
Okay. go-to slice or?
House salad slice.
Sicilian.
Although it doesn't look that way.
You are not having. No, listen. It was a house salad slice, not a house salad, right?
All right, I'm lying. I ate the whole house.
I'm not one to speak, but yeah. So couple of quick things. So obviously you guys aren't big on social media. How does somebody get in touch with PAG if they wanted to get some work done?
Word of mouth. Just from our phone numbers.
What's your phone number? Drop it.
631-433-6020.
All right. I wear my hoodie from time to time, my PAG Sons hoodie. Free marketing. Any shout outs, any other go-to contractors that you work with, or anybody that you're like, you know what, we're where we're at, good partnership?
We have a lot of solid contracts. There's a lot of good guys that we deal with. I mean, honestly, in the industry, you could surround yourself with some real pigs that we kind of, as a young person, we wanted any kind of work, so we were the pigs.
Okay.
Now still are. We weeded out a lot of the riffraff.
But I can say one thing: the guys that we're working with now, or if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be in the position we're in.
100%.
That's for sure.
Okay.
And anybody who sees this knows who they are. I mean, that's for sure.
I like it.
Without that, we'd be dead in the water.
Yeah, contractors are our base. So we do a lot of homeowner direct stuff, but mainly new contractors are our base. They are the ones that fuel this thing weekly. As you know, we're 20-something guys. That's not, those aren't easy weeks to fill sometimes.
So, yeah.
That's the revenue stream that kind of keeps PAG afloat.
Okay. And you guys have kind of done a 180, I think, as to your view on insurance, particularly that guy over there. What's your biggest learning or your biggest 180 that you've had on insurance?
I just think, again, like, it's not always, you don't get fooled by the, numbers in front of you that you think, all right, you know what, that's got to be the right insurance. It's good. Look, it's cheap. It's, you got to know the value of, who's in front of you. So,
And good insurance could save your ass. Without the right insurance, you could really wind up in a pretty shitty position. Because as soon as you start making a decent amount of money where people can notice, people are evil, man. They'll come after you.
There's more to lose.
Yeah. And they see it, the liability goes up, and without the right coverage, you could really
shit. The more you have out, the more exposure you have. So it's even more important to have the right coverage because, it's inevitable for something to go.
Yeah.
There's just things are going to happen. Things arise. So it's more crucial now than ever to make sure we're insured properly.
Yeah.
So you have the number of that good insurance guy?
Yeah. A couple of things that I recall that I think, just maybe as reminders, right? Don't mix business and pleasure, right? You don't, pierce the corporate veil, so to speak. You really have to do a good job in separating the two, right? Because, once you cross that line, there's liabilities that expose. And when you're small, it's easy to kind of like blend, right? But you have to kind of start separating that stuff out as you go to the future. And then you mentioned one thing about the big shiny object, right? Which let's just call it spade to spade. It's the price, right? Yeah. And unfortunately, there's a lot of agents or brokers that don't necessarily do the right thing and maybe even take advantage of, they're trying to win business. Like, you guys pay a lot of money in insurance, right? So, but you want to know what you're actually paying for, right? So you could be paying for something and you could have a lot of exposure, a lot of gaps. Ultimately that decision's up to you, but we kind of owe it to you to educate and make that decision.
Steer you in the right direction, make sure that at least what you're going to sign up for. So,
I mean, you guys also had one situation where I don't know if it was like your workman's comp or I forget what it was, but you guys had some. Well, no, I was going to say there was one where you had like one price, right? But then they did an audit at the end of the year. Yeah. So they plugged you in at like one number and it was well under what you guys were actually doing. And you
put it in front of you and knowing that, our payroll was a certain amount. And then like all of a sudden, it was great monthly. You're like, all right, this works. And then at the end of the year, you get.
And us not knowing, we were green. We didn't know, we didn't think hit with 20. Just like, I had 3 guys. And what does that mean? I got to.
So there, now you had a penny wise, dollar don't. That's things that as you season yourself, you realize, hey, you know what? Let's kind of dive into this a little bit more. Let's learn.
But you guys are fortunate you lived through that, right? Because if you're a small company, right, and you don't put away the money properly, you get hit with a 40K bill at the end of the year. They might not make payroll, you know?
Yeah, I mean, bury you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another reason why we kind of try to put our money into some assets and stuff like that, because honestly, those are fail safes. You know, that's like oh shit, because if you don't, when you have it, if you could just not spend it and put it in smart spots, then that kind of gives you a little buffer, a little saving grace.
Well, I appreciate you guys. I'm not gonna we probably missed a ton of phone calls. We got to get back to it. Was this as bad as you thought?
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't that bad. No.
All right. So let's go do some dinner and drinks and we'll call it a day.
Sounds good.
So if you guys need a great local electrician or you're a contractor searching for a company that can do new builds the right way, PAG Sons, Fort Jeff, Anthony and Paul, great guys.
I love it. Thank you so much. Thanks for the time.